What's the best resume format to use if you are suddenly without a job? Maybe you got furloughed or downsized or let go or terminated or laid off, and you desperately need to change careers quickly. It's called a functional resume, and a functional resume gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility to showcase your skills and abilities in a very persuasive way on a one-page resume. So in this video, you're going to learn how to write a functional resume, and if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you how to get a free functional resume template. Plus, I'm going to give you an important warning to keep in mind if you decide to use this resume format. Welcome, Happily Employed Rockstar. I'm Robert with themagiccoverletter.com, and you're in the right place to learn the secrets to getting a better job. Whether you're new or returning, I'm excited you're here and delighted to be investing in your success. Be sure to click that red subscribe button and the bell so you'll be one of the first to know when I post another video. Instead of showing your work history in a reverse chronological resume format, which is kind of the most traditional resume format, the functional resume or skills-based resume or combination resume format is designed to make it much easier for you to quickly show the reader the skills, experiences, expertise that you have that is most relevant to the position to which you are applying. Let's take a more in-depth look at how a functional resume works. At the top is the usual header information, and below that is the title of the job that you are seeking. The first section in this functional resume sample that we're looking at here is a very brief kind of teaser summary of your skills. This is basically 3 to 5 sentences or bullet points that summarize the most important skills, accomplishments, training that show the evidence that you can do the job to which you are applying. Now, it's really important in this top section that you really impress the reader. Your goal is to describe for them how what you've done in the past, the results, accomplishments, experiences you've had, is relevant to what you can do for them in the future. You can write this in first person. I did this, or I'm really good at that, or I can help significantly cut costs, or I can help significantly increase revenue. You want to end this opening section with a call to action, much like you would do in the last 2 or 3 sentences if you were writing a cover letter or an introductory email. So here is an example. I look forward to discussing how my, and then you're going to insert your most relevant skill or ability, can help, and then you're going to put the name of the company, followed by the benefit you're going to offer them. So, for example, I look forward to discussing how my exceptional sales ability can help, and then you put the name of the company in there, get more profitable clients. So, very important to end this with a benefit that you are going to provide to this company. The second section of a functional resume is a list of your most relevant accomplishments. This can be professional accomplishments or other relevant experiences. If you're a college student getting ready to graduate, maybe it's something you did in one of your courses, but you're going to list these here in this second section. Ideally, you're going to take 3 of the most important skills or accomplishments that you mentioned in section 1 right above this, and you're going to expand on those and share even more details. You're going to show how each of these accomplishments relates specifically to the job. You're going to describe any specific skills that you use to complete each of those accomplishments and share any measurable results that will back up your abilities. These bullets don't have to be complete sentences. You can bold 2 to 3 of them if they are ones that you really want to draw special attention to. Very important to keep it to 1 page. If necessary, you can always use a slightly smaller point type, such as 11 point type instead of 12, but don't go any smaller than 11. Now, before I show the 3rd and 4th sections of this resume, I'm very curious. Is what I'm sharing helpful to you? If so, drop a yes in the comments below. The 3rd section of a functional resume is usually a very brief reverse chronological resume summary of your work experience for the last 10 to 15 years. You can see that you only need to list the title, the company name, the city and state, and the number of years or the year range that you worked there. If you have relevant experience that is from more than 10 to 15 years ago, you can insert a line here that is listed as earlier experience includes, and then you can insert whatever relevant job title that, again, shows you are qualified to do this job. If you don't have 10 to 15 years of work experience, that's okay. It may be appropriate for you to list every position you've held. The only caution, and this isn't the big warning, which I'll give you in a minute, but the only caution here is that you want to be careful that this section doesn't become too large. Remember, the whole goal of this is to present the most relevant information, the most persuasive information about your experiences, your expertise, your skills, and typically you'll do that up in the two first sections. If you have room to list them all and it's appropriate, go ahead and do that, but don't do it at the expense of shortening what's above and the persuasiveness of that, because that is really the most important. The final section of the functional resume format is typically your education if it is relevant to the job. If you include it, be sure to list your degree, your major, name of the school, and the city, state, and year of graduation. If your education is not relevant to the job, or if listing it will raise additional questions, then consider leaving it off. Now here is the big warning. Hiring managers can sometimes view a skills or functional resume format with some suspicion because it makes it a little harder for them to see where the gaps are in your employment. So here's what I recommend. If you use this, and I think it's a very powerful format, so I would encourage you to really seriously consider it because it gives you a very flexible way to persuasively show how you meet the requirements for the job. Especially in situations where you are not able to submit a cover letter, this is a powerful resume format. But if you're going to use it, I recommend before you submit it that you go ahead and make a complete list like we did, a longer list, but like we did inside the actual resume, where you're just listing out each company that you worked for and the years. You just have a list there. You don't need to include your accomplishments or anything like that. Your job title, you can put that in there, but you just list that out on one sheet of paper so that if they ask for it, you've got it ready, you can shoot it to them or take it to the interview if they don't ask for it beforehand so that you can actually hand that to them so that they can see kind of where the gaps are in your employment history. And as always, there is one more thing. Grab your free functional resume template for Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and Mac Pages by going to www.themagiccoverletter.com/functional resume. The link is also in the description. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if not, let me know that as well. Be sure to click the red subscribe button and the bell down below so that you'll know when I post another video, and be sure to share this with anybody you know who is suddenly out of a job, like many people around the world are right now. Be sure to share this with them, and until next time, unleash your big dreams by asking yourself this powerful question: what if it's possible